I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Sunday morning to you all. Hope you all had a great Saturday. Hope you all had a better Saturday than I did. I only bet on 2 games. So you might be thinking, couldn't have been that bad. You only bet 2 games. I bet them both heavy. Now, the Phillies, obviously, that's the one everyone wants to talk about. That's whatever. I mean, it was a good bet. I would place that bet 100 times over. Sucks, that city, man, Philadelphia. But the one the one that was just a terrible bet was the Tigers. I mean, you could still get that minus 112 when the game started, which means I was way off. The market's perception of the Tigers is crazy. A pick'em in a home game with Casey Mize on the mound closes at minus 112 on a couple of sports books. That's freak. I mean, the market has spoken. No one thinks the Tigers are any good, apparently. I thought that minus 112 was going to be a great bet. No, apparently not. What a bad bet there on the Tigers. Toast actually had the Mariners in that one. But yeah, we got 15 games. It's tough for those of you that don't know. It's the last day before the All-Star break, so yeah, it's tough. Same thing happens in NBA where it's like, dude, maybe we shouldn't bet any of these games. I do have a few bets open. We'll talk about it, but it's not going to be the most exciting day. And don't be surprised if tomorrow morning there's some when they start dropping the lineups, there's some late scratches. I mean, it's the last day before the All-Star break. So first up, Miami, Baltimore. I actually am going to pass it over to Spoon first because I heard him talking in the voice chat and he said he is considering the fish here.
Yeah, we got Brandon Young on the mound. This is a guy that has struggled in every single game he's pitched. He's given up 2 earned runs in every game, 3 earned runs or more in most of them. He's got a 2.21 whip versus lefties on the season with a 5.2 xFIP. The Fish don't have a ton of lefties, but you do have Xavier Edwards, Jesus Sanchez, Kyle Stowers, and Liam Hicks all hitting from the left side tomorrow. I think that's probably enough bats to get to him. And you got Yuri Perez, who's really pitching the best baseball he has in the major leagues at this point. And he probably thinks he has the stuff to be going in the All-Star game tomorrow. Obviously, he hasn't had the numbers to really be voted in, especially when you're on Miami. But I think this is a spot where he's going to pitch really well. The Miami bats can get a few runs off Brandon Young. I think we get a little bit of value in this price because Baltimore is at home, but I really think Yuri Perez can shut down this lineup. This is a spot where I'm pretty close. I see Fish plus 105. That's really close. It's in my bet slip. I just haven't hit the button yet.
So I agree with some of what you said. I do agree that Yuri Perez can pitch well. I think plus 105 is a little crazy. It's a little thin, if you ask me. And personally, I'm not 100% convinced the Marlins can hit off Young. I know Young's been pretty bad, but he looked good in his last start against the Mets, which was also at home. And granted, not a huge sample size here, but his early splits it's pretty clear that Young struggles with lefty bats. Again, we're only talking about 5 starts here, so maybe we shouldn't take these splits too seriously. But I mean, he's got terrible numbers against lefty bats. The Marlins don't really have a lot of lefties, and the Marlins, we were talking about how they were just destroying the ball on the road, and they were, but it's kind of coming back down to earth a little bit. I mean, in the last 2 weeks, this is a bottom 10 lineup against righties. I'm not really convinced the Marlins can hit Brandon Young, but I do agree with Spoon that I think Yuri Perez pitches well here. He's looked very good, and the Orioles bats seem to be trending back. I mean, they're a below average lineup in the last couple weeks, so I think if I was to bet this game, I would just take the U9 here. Weather is pretty conducive for scoring runs, which is kind of holding me off, but I think this is an under game, personally. Toast?
For me, it would only be Baltimore or pass for me. I agree with Perez that he's been very good, but at the same time, he's looked good against Cincinnati and Minnesota, two lackluster offenses. When he faced teams like Arizona and Atlanta, has a couple guys that can get you, but they're not even that great. He didn't look nearly as good on the road in Washington. I mean, that's not a hard lineup to face. Didn't really look good against Pittsburgh either. So I'm just not there, especially with this Baltimore lineup starting to hit a little bit better. I mean, 4 off of Cabrera, 5 off of Holmes, 2 off of Grant Holmes, excuse me. They got 3 off of Strider. So they've been seeing some decent righty starters in the last couple of times that they've seen from righties. This is just an easy pass for me. This Marlins offense looks dead right now. I can't bet Baltimore because I'm pretty sure, Dominguez and Soto are 2 of the last 3 days. So the bullpen's a little bit thin with this guy on the mound. It's an easy pass for me, but it would only be Baltimore for me.
Adams Digest in the comments. Marlins scored 4 runs today in 1 inning. Other than that, they can't hit.
Yeah.
I guess you're on the under 2. No, actually, I actually can figure out what Adam's on right now with the voice chat. Never mind. No, I can't because Adam didn't submit a pick for this one. Charles
he was
is
driving home.
Oh, was he? Okay. Charles is on the Orioles money line. Shocker. He's an Orioles fan. TJ's on the first 5 under. Okay.
Oh, he's an Orioles fan now?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Depending on what week. So TJ's actually in the chat. Everything you said is first 5 under. Yeah. So you got a 5? I'll bet that with you, TJ. I'll bet that. I'm down with that first 5 under. 1 sec. Let's place it. I can get a 5 minus 115 on MGM, it looks like. All right. 0.75 units. Something light. After what the Phillies did to me today, I'm a little guns.
It was so. If I hadn't had such a good week, I would have let that bother me. But how crazy is it? Jackson Merrill's been terrible, and the one time I bet heavy on the Phillies, he hits 2 home runs. Just what a day! What a day!
I maybe it's because this year's been going well, but I've been I feel like in years past, I would let losing days or a loss like that really piss me off, and it hasn't recently. Last few months, I've been pretty level-headed, man. Usually, I'm like snapping at people in the comments, like.
I gave somebody a good tongue lashing in like 2 months.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, some people just deserve it, but all right. I just bet that first 5 under with you, TJ, so I'm in. All right.
It's good company to have.
Yeah. DJ's a good guy. So. Oh, and by the way, Spoon and Jacob are both. Well, Spoon's on the Marlins. Jacob's on the Marlins as well. All right. Oh, what the heck happened to our screen here? All right. Rays, Red Sox. I'm sorry. Look, not the time after losing that Phillies bet, after losing 2 units on the Phillies today. Maybe not the time to kind of flex a little bit, but I do have to say, I tried telling you guys the Rays are trash. I tried telling you guys 4-11 in their last 15 games. Wow. That being said, I can't really say I saw that coming. A 1-0 Red Sox win. So, and any idea where to go here, Toast?
Yeah, so I'm going to pay a little juice, but Rays, first 5, team total over 1.5 minus 160. I put a full unit on this. Look, you have Bayo coming off 2 pretty good starts, but with really high pitch counts against Colorado and Toronto, both at home, so that's cool. But, I mean, he pitched 9 innings against Colorado, and if there's one team that knows him, it would be the Rays. This is going to be the 4th time the Rays seen him between this year and last year, and they've got to him pretty much every time except for once. And if a couple guys from the Rays lineup sit, I guess then so be it. But if there's one thing that we know about Bayo is that he struggles versus lefties, and then there's some pretty talented lefties up at the top of the lineup with Aranda and Lau and Magnum and Simpson. On top of the fact that Yandy Diaz has great career numbers against him at the top of the lineup, he's a righty, so I don't really worry about that. Camanero's an all-star. I just think that there's plenty of opportunities here for the Rays to score runs, and we only got to get to 2, and it's going to be decent weather in Fenway tomorrow as well. Nothing crazy. It's going to be like 75 degrees with like 7 or 8 mile an hour winds. Like, I just don't feel like Bayo should be commanding 1.5. I know that this Rays offense hasn't been anything special, but 1.5 with good weather the day before the All-Star game or break, I just couldn't pass that up.
Spoon, I saw you go like this when he said it. So you think the Rays are going to score some runs too?
Yeah, Brian Bayo's really hit or miss pitcher, kind of always has a chip on his shoulder. He's not a guy that I really want to back. Kind of young, immature. He's coming off one of the best starts of his career at Colorado. I know Tampa Bay's bats, you've been on them. They're not killing the ball right now, but they're definitely a different level than what Colorado's bats are. And I think this is a spot where the Rays bats get to him. I looked at the Rays full game team total over, and I was kind of peeking at bullpen situations. I think both teams will be able to empty the tank if they want to going into the All-Star break. So I do kind of like just isolating it to that first 5. But I think I'm going to do a bet you're not going to like. I like Tampa Bay a lot here. It's in my bet slip. I also haven't pressed the bet button here, but I think Pepio can pitch really well to these Red Sox lineup. There's a lot of lefties in this lineup that I'm worried about. Bregman had the day off again today. Kind of nursing him day right before the All-Star break. I don't know that he comes out again. That would be one righty I'd have a little concern with, but ton of lefties. Marcelo Meyer, Toro, Duran, Roman Anthony. I think this is a spot where Ryan Pepio's lefty splits, 0.9 whip and a 3.2 xFIP on the season. Really gets to play to his strength today. Also, it's just that last day before the All-Star break. The umpires also want to get out of there. They want to have a nice short game, go on the longest vacation they get of the season. I think the zones open up a little bit tomorrow. I think Ryan Pepio pitches really well. I think Bayo comes back down to earth. Rays get probably more than 2 runs in the first 5 off him, and I think they dump the pen and get the win. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to the ticket window, but I'm close.
Well, actually, Spoon, I agree with you. So what I was saying throughout that whole thing is that the Rays are overpriced. Now that they're being properly priced, we can find some spots to play on them. And I agree. I think this might be one of them. It would only be Rays for me as well. And for what Spoon was talking about here, guys, with Pepio, are these splits right here. Spoon was just talking about this. So you can see Pepio, much better numbers against lefty bats, and Boston loaded with lefty bats. Not to mention, Boston, you look at their hitting numbers, right? I'll show you. The graphics are just green across the board. Hottest lineup in baseball at home. Hottest lineup in baseball against the righties. Hottest lineup in baseball, period. But they did all that damage in a couple series before this one. If you've watched this series, the 3 games against the Rays, the Red Sox bats haven't been exploding. I mean, they came from behind to win the first 2 games, even though the second one they should have been winning. They should have never been losing. But it's not like the Red Sox bats have been just killing the ball in this series. I think those numbers are a little bit off. They just went nuclear in that. What was that? The Rockies series where they went nuts? I think they went just nuts in a couple series. There's just one series that are skewing the numbers.
The Rockies and the Nationals back to back. They scored like 10 runs a game.
Right. The National. Right. So I actually agree, Spoon. I think it would only be Rays. I would like a little more bean on the bone, but I trust Pepio a lot more than Bayo, plus 110. Now that the Rays are starting to get properly priced, I think we can find some spots to play on them. So I agree, Spoon.
The only thing that threw me off with the Rays is this is going to be the 3rd time Boston's seeing Pepio already this year, which I just didn't like that.
As far as the voice set, Charles is on Boston. Benji's on Boston team total over. Jacob's on the under. So let's move on to the next game. And the next game is, man, why is our screen's off here? Cubs, Yankees. I bet this one. This is one of the games I bet. I actually took a unit and split it in half. So I have 2 bets on this game, but it's just a half unit split in. I mean, just a full unit split in half. First 5 under, full game under. So I got the first 5 under, 4.5. I think I got a minus 102 on it. So you know what? Before I even say anything, let me go ahead and get it up on the screen. Actually, Toast, you want to go? Let me get my picks up on the screen. I have to type one.
We have to type mine too. It's the same bet as the last game though. Cubs first 5 team total over 1.5 minus 160. I just think that this number is absolutely crazy. I mean, unless everybody's sitting tomorrow, which I highly doubt considering these guys are in a division race, I really like this bet. Will Warren, coming off of 2 of his last 3 starts, have been really good against Seattle and the Athletics. But besides that, he's been kind of mediocre. I mean, he hasn't been terrible, but he's just been kind of mediocre. He had another good start against Kansas City, another team that can't hit. But we have this Cubs team that started to find a little bit of life in Yankee Stadium this series after getting shut out that first game. And then they've also been absolutely killing right-handed pitching. And if there's one thing that we know about Will Warren is that he struggles with lefties. And the top of that Cubs lineup is loaded with lefties. Happ will hit from the left-hand side. Kyle Tucker, Pete Crow Armstrong, Michael Busch. I mean, so I do think that there's plenty of ample opportunities for these guys to get runs. So it's only 2. It's going to be decent weather in New York tomorrow. I know it's a lot of juice for both of these bets, but I still really feel like these bets should be more like 2.5 at plus money or something like that. I don't think we should be getting 1.5. I think 2 is just too small on good days like this. So yeah, Cubs first 5 team total over 1.5. It's a lot of juice, but I think it's worth the squeeze.
You mentioned the lefties in the top of the Cubs order and didn't mention that the bottom of the order is a bunch of righty trash. Sorry, Spoon, no offense. No, I meant what I'm talking about, and Toast just mentioned it. Will Warren, real nice numbers against righty bats. He struggles against lefties. The Cubs do have some lefties towards the top of the order. Bottom of the order is 4 straight righties. So that's a free inning for Will Warren. He's actually hasn't been bad, by the way. His last start out was home at Seattle. 5 2/3 shutout innings. He got crushed by the Blue Jays in Toronto. Before that, 5 shutout innings at home. He's pitched really well at Yankee Stadium recently. His last 4 home starts, Will Warren has been solid. So I wouldn't say I trust Will Warren, but Will Warren is not a blind fade of a starting pitcher. And on the other side, Shota, a guy I trust. The wind is kind of blowing in towards third base from the right field pole, kind of. So Shota being a fly ball pitcher, you like to see that, especially with the porch in right field. Yeah, I think a low scoring affair here. What do you think, Spoon?
Kind of just really quickly give some love to Carson Kelly, who's been killing it this year. He's not just an easy out at the bottom of that lineup. I know Spoon could agree with that.
He's going to go 0 for 3.
I will agree with that. It's not going to come into context because Reese McGuire will catch tomorrow for Shota. That's a lefty that'll be at the bottom of the order. Nico Horner's one of the best contact bats in all of Major League Baseball, also at the bottom of the order. Like Toast touched on the top of the order, we have a ton of lefties. I don't think this is a good spot for Will Warren. I was looking at the Cubs team total. My trust issue here is with Shota. This is a spot where you can really put balls out of the park, and this is a guy that intentionally tries to get people to pop the ball up. I think I'm going to get there with the Cubs money line. It's not just a homer bet. I really think that they're going to empty the pen, try to do everything they can do to get this win here on the road. They have a 1-game lead on the Brewers. This is a spot Will Warren is not one of the best pitchers they've seen recently. I think they can really tag him. I put him in that same class with David Festa, Chris Paddock. I don't think this guy's going to be elite. I don't think he's going to shut down the Cubs at all. So it comes down to the Cubs bullpen, and it's a bullpen that I'm trying to trust on the full season. They have a 7 ERA. The last 14 days, they're 21st in ERA. So it's not as good as it's been on the full season, but I think this is a spot where they really just put everything out there they can. I have no concerns of Pete Crow Armstrong sitting because of the All-Star game. This is a guy that loves the bright lights. This is Yankee Stadium. He wants to go out there. Those short porches apply to him. He's a lefty as well. A little bit of wind is not going to stop a PCA bomb.
Nope.
I think there's a spot for the Cubs money line. It's in my ticket. I'm really close to betting this. This is probably the closest that I've gotten to anything today on the card yet. I only have one official bet on right now.
Well, your boy TJ disagrees. He's on the Yankees money line. Oh wait, so Sportside Jacob broke Yankees for you.
Ooh, hate to see that.
A Freudian slip there. So Spoon's on Cubs and over. It says here, Boba's on Bellinger over 1.5 HRR. TJ's on the Yankees. Jacob and Charles on the under with me. And yes, someone asked in the chat, did I bet the first 5 under? I did. I split my money in half and put a half unit on each. Let's move on to the next game, which is hold on. Next game is Rockies Reds. I mean, copy and paste what I've said the past 2 days in this series. They keep giving us these super high totals because of the ballpark, and maybe the starting pitchers have something to do with it. Under a pass. I did bet the under 2 days ago. It hit for me. I said under a pass today. It didn't bet. I didn't bet it. It would have hit. Just under a pass. I don't know. They're giving us huge numbers because of the ballpark. Neither of these lineups can hit right now.
No, yeah, I can't argue it. I'm not betting this at all, but I don't. The only reason that I'm not betting it under is how bad both of these pitchers have been. I mean, Austin Gomber has been absolutely terrible, and I know that this Reds lineup is terrible. But versus left-handed pitching, if you actually look, I mean, they've kind of faced like the who's who of lefties. I mean, Ranger Suarez, Luzardo, Crochet, Max Fried, Rodon. Eduardo Rodriguez, Noah Cameron, Matthew Boyd. I mean, all those guys, especially Noah Cameron and Matthew Boyd at the time, were pitching very, very good. I mean, they put 5 off of Luzardo, 5 off of Crochet. So I do think that it's very capable that the Reds score runs. And then as far as Nick Martinez goes, the same type of thing. Anytime that he starts a game or goes more than an inning, he gets absolutely throttled, except for the game that he faced against the Padres. Detroit got to him. Minnesota got to him. Boston got to him. Miami put 10 on him. Like he just can't be trusted. So I get both of these teams are absolutely terrible, but so are these pitchers that are starting tomorrow. And it's going to be, I mean, obviously it's Cincinnati, but it's going to be a fantastic weather to score runs tomorrow. But not a chance in hell I bet it. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of context.
So you say over a pass?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not betting.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I'm not betting this either. Spoon, anything in this one?
Put me on the board for the Rockies. This is a game I was looking at a little close. My buddy Luke is going to it. He's going to be sitting in the outfield, and I told him to sit there. You got Nick Martinez on the mound and Austin Gomber. I think there's a spot where you're going to see some home runs given up. I don't know if there's going to be enough runners on base to necessarily get you to that total, but I think the Rockies are just – this is a really affordable price to get a team versus Nick Martinez. This guy gave up 10 earned runs in his last game out. Nobody's scared of the Miami bats. You look at Hunter Goodman, Ryan McMahon. These are some guys that I really think can get to Nick Martinez.
Kyle's going to tail.
It's tough trusting Austin Gomber. Actually putting your money on this, it gets hard. There's a lot of righties in this Reds lineup, and his numbers don't look good against righties, but I think this is a spot where he can pitch decent. If you look at his stats on the season, you see one bad game versus the Arizona Diamondbacks, 9 earned runs, 12 hits, and 1 walk. And that's a really lefty-heavy lineup. And I think if we cross that game out and we look at Austin Gomber, a guy that has Coors as his home, so you're just looking at him as a worse pitcher than what he actually is, I think this is a lot of value, plus 200. Put me on the board for it. I think McMahon or Goodman go deep tomorrow.
It's intriguing.
Come on, Rocky.
Dude, I was going to say Kyle's itching. He's like, He was trying to find a reason not to bet them. I guarantee you that's what he was doing.
Going on in the voice chat? I was upstairs for this part. There's a lot of purple on the screen here.
I was talking everybody into the Rockies. I'm sorry.
For real, you're out here giving compelling speeches. OT's on the Rockies +2. Charles is on the Rockies money line. That it doesn't take much to get him there. Adams on the Rockies team total over 3.5. Jacobs on the Rockies +2. Benji's on the over at 9.5. I'll put it in my pocket.
Doesn't take much to get in there.
Let's move on to the next. Why are all my screens low? It's weird. I bet this one. So maybe a little bit of. I'm hoping we see a little bit of the same pattern we saw in today's game, where, I mean, this line just didn't move. The market hated Detroit today. It's Logan Gilbert against Jack Flaherty. You have to say a significant starting pitching advantage for Seattle. Is 2 games enough for us to say, hey, we trust the Mariners lineup, because they were trending in the wrong direction before that, but they've scored like 37 runs in the last 48 hours. The lineup seems to be just fine. They don't seem to have a problem hitting in the ballpark either. So yeah, I took Seattle at the -110. I'd say, I was talking about it when we first started the show. My bet on Detroit today was a terrible one, and I almost don't even really understand why. Clearly, the market is out on this Tigers team. Is it Kerry Carpenter? Spoon, what's going on? Has the market decided the Tigers aren't good?
So his nickname is Kerry Bonds. This guy is a huge bat in the middle of that lineup. It doesn't just take the one bat out of the lineup. It affects how you pitch to the guys before him too, because now you don't necessarily have to give them anything to hit. You can just keep going through. Hitting third tomorrow is likely going to be Wenzel Perez for the Detroit Tigers. It just doesn't have the same depth to the lineup when you take somebody out like that. I like the Seattle bet here a lot. Logan Gilbert, this is a pitcher that I don't expect to have a ton of bad games, and he's coming off a bad game. Gave up 5 earned runs and 7 hits to the New York Yankees. I was in that New York small park. If you look at him the game before that in Kansas City, he only gave up 1 earned run and 3 hits. I think this is a guy that's starting to get healthy right before the All-Star break. I don't see any reason we can't back him. The Seattle bat's getting to Flaherty. I don't know if that will necessarily happen, but the Detroit bullpen behind it, I think they can also get to. Flaherty has worse splits versus lefties than he does righties, and the big bats there for Seattle are lefties. Cal Raleigh, I believe, is still 1 home run away from tying Barry Bonds' first half of the season record for home runs. I think he's going to be swinging for the fences every single time in this game. It doesn't take a lot of runs in Comerica to win a game. I'd either be on the under Seattle. It really comes down to how much faith I can have in Flaherty. I don't think he's a bad pitcher. This season has not looked good for him. And you've seen some bad teams like Cincinnati hit him around, and I don't know why Seattle can't do it. So hearing you on it, I'm getting really close to hitting that Seattle money line on my ticket as well.
Yeah, it's really crazy when you think about it. The Tigers have the best record in baseball. The best record in baseball. They're the best home team in baseball so far this year. They close at almost a pick earlier today, and then here they are at a pick again. The market has collectively decided that the Tigers are not a very good baseball team, apparently. Toast?
Yeah, I bet the Mariners. First thing I bet today, I sent this text out a while. I got the Mariners at plus 100. So can't really add anything else to what you guys said. I do think this is a really good chance for Logan Gilbert to pitch against this lineup again. He faced them in Seattle earlier this year. He gave up 3 runs over 5 innings, but struck out 10 guys. But I mean, really, he had a bad first inning where he gave up an early double to Riley Green, and then Carpenter hit a single and Colt Keith hit a single. Whatever. But besides that, he was really good. He had 10 strikeouts in that game. So, and I agree with Spoon. I don't expect him to have bad starts back to back. And I do think that the Mariners bats have started to come around. I mean, they scored a whole bunch of 4 or 5 runs today. They had 12 yesterday.
4 or 5. They had 15 today.
Or sorry, 15. 15, 12, 5, and 6. So yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So I as soon as I saw that the Mariners didn't use all their bullpen arms, I was going to be good to go besides this. So yeah, Mariners money line for me as well.
Plus 100.
We should probably talk about that pitch tipping incident with Munoz. Clearly something's out on his pitches. The Yankees absolutely destroyed him there in that 9th inning. I don't necessarily know they want to put him out there again before the break. But I just went ahead and bet it. Seattle Mariners money line.
And
I think they would have used him today if they had the chance. I wouldn't. Yeah.
The poll was heavy Seattle, 70% to 16%. Our voice chat, heavy Seattle. If you're you like to bet on the contrarian side, Tigers might be your play here. Benji's on Mariners team total over. Boba's on Mariners team total over. Charles on the Mariners. Jacob on the Mariners. Spoon on under Mariners. TJ's on the Tigers.
I know what he said there. He said the market's gone too far. He was talking about recency bias here. I think that he thinks there's a lot of value there with Detroit. Like you were talking, why is it a pick 'em with a team that's the best team in baseball at home?
That's what I said yesterday when I bet the Tigers minus 112. They got smoked. But yeah, I said the same thing yesterday. Maybe the Tigers aren't as good without Carpenter. Maybe the Tigers just aren't very good. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're playing 500 baseball their last 20 games. I mean, it's not. I mean, they had home series against the Twins, the Athletics, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. I mean, it's not like they're playing anybody good at home. Cleveland, San Francisco, the Cubs. That's a decent team. Boston earlier in the year, Texas. I mean, who are they playing at home that's really that special?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been a 500 baseball team for longer than that, to be honest. You said 20 games. I think it's been like 35, 40 games.
Last 30, they're 17 and 30.
17
or 17 and 13, excuse me.
Yeah, so they've been like a 500 baseball team for a while. Cleveland on the road at Chicago against the White Sox. Cantillo against Savale. Spoon, anything here?
Yeah, Cleveland money line. I think I got it minus 125-ish, minus 128. Cleveland money line. Aaron Savali's on the mound. This is a guy that I do not think is going to be pitching in Major League Baseball next year. Cleveland Guardians bats are hard to trust, but they do come alive at times. They were able to get 6 runs off Hunter Brown. I don't think Savali's going to keep them off the board at all. I looked at their team total, but when I glance at the bullpen and see that their best arms didn't go today and they have the all-star break where everybody can have a rest, they're never a team that shies away from putting Class A out there. So I think they'll dump the bullpen, try to get this win. It's a in-division matchup. They're on the road, so you get a little bit of that value with the White Sox just being priced as the home team, and that's built into the line. I think it's a great spot. Cleveland money line.
Someone said, Sly one said, Tigers won't make the playoffs. That's a little crazy, considering there's no one else in their division that's even above 500. The Twins are in second place and they're 47 and 48. So to not make the playoffs is a stretch. But as far as saying they're a fade in the second half of the season, I think there might be something to that. Toast.
It would only be over or pass for me, but I'm not going to bet this game. Savali's been absolutely terrible, like Spoon said, and if the White Sox have actually been feasible versus left-handed pitching. So I don't really put too much into it. I played the over today; it got to 8, but the White Sox didn't do anything. But again, it's a pass for me. I don't want to deal with this game on the day before the All-Star game.
Could that last sentence? Yeah, I don't want to deal with this. An AL Central game the day before an All-Star break.
With Cantillo and Savali on the mound.
Not to mention,
so Cantillo's worked up. He's been getting more pitches each game here. I think he's probably good to go for 90 pitches tomorrow. I don't think he's a bad pitcher at all. I think he can definitely deal to this White Sox lineup. I bet he gets quite a few Ks tomorrow.
It could be Adam versus Eve on the mound, and I wouldn't bet this game tomorrow.
What does that mean? What are you saying? Are you implying
any mythical creature that you guys want to use?
Adam and Eve are mythical creatures.
Yo, whatever.
Are you implying that Adam would be a better pitcher than Eve? Like, I don't even understand the metaphor.
Are they using the apple and a stick off the tree?
I don't care who is pitching on the mound tomorrow. I would not bet that game. I was going to say God and Jesus, but I didn't know if those are the same people or not. I wasn't 100% positive.
Father and son.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't 100%.
Well, it depends.
It depends who you ask.
Yeah, that is a good. It depends. Depends on who you ask.
Next game.
Rangers Astros in Houston. I wish I bet that over, man.
I know. I'm so irritated. Irritated.
And honestly, I've been saying this in Texas Rangers games for a while now, and I've only bet it, I think, twice, but I think I would have hit it in every. I've said it in like 5 straight Rangers games. I should just be betting every single one of these overs. This lineup's hitting. The Rangers lineup is back. They're hitting. Now, I know they didn't put up a ton today, but the total was 6.5. This total's sitting at 7. Obviously, it's because it's Eovaldi against Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown, a Cy Young candidate this year. Eovaldi, back-to-back lights-out starts. He hasn't allowed an earned run in his last 2 starts. So that's why you're getting the 7. But Eovaldi's a guy I always trust more at home. And Hunter Brown, I mean, got hit up by Cleveland in his last start. But regardless, it's Hunter Brown throws with his right hand. The Rangers are hitting, so shouldn't it be 7? It'll only be over for me. But it's tough to take an over when Eovaldi hasn't allowed an earned run in 2 starts, 5 shutout, 6 shutout, and then it's Hunter Brown, who's like one of the best pitchers in the league right now. So it's tough to pull the trigger, but only over again. Spoon.
I lean Texas here. This is a spot where Houston has like 4 bats that even are decent at this point. The bottom of this lineup is really hard to find any runs in. You look at Paredes, Cam Smith, Altuve, Walker. It looks like they're missing some bats, and that's because they are. Their 2 best bats are still on the IL with Pena and Alvarez. It's been painfully obvious watching that game tonight. I was on Houston money line. As soon as Texas Rangers tied it up, I pretty much kissed that one away. Houston ended up coming through, but it was because they walked the bases loaded. It wasn't because Houston did anything amazing. This is a spot where I could only get on Texas. Nathan Eovaldi's pitching really well right now. If we look at his last 2 starts, 11 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, just 1 walk in that time. This guy, when he has his control, I think this is somebody that I would like to back. Hunter Brown is coming off a really bad game, though, and I don't expect that to continue. I expect him to be able to go out there and probably deal 5 or 6 really good innings. It's going to have to come off the bullpen, and when you're isolating this to like 4 innings where I expect him to win, it's hard, but this lineup is so much deeper. I trust the Texas bats a lot more. It's a strong lean for Texas. I probably won't bet it.
Speaking of the bullpens, keep in mind this game went 11 innings today, and both the bullpens used all their major arms. In fact, on the Texas side, they're a little bit compromised because I agree with Spoon. I was leaning towards Texas, and this is what kept me off. Right before the All-Star break, they may use these arms. So I'm not sure, but Garcia has gone back-to-back days, 13 and 19 pitches. Chris Martin has gone back-to-back days, 17 and 12 pitches. Hobie Milner has gone back-to-back days. Now, none of these outings were into the 20s. Like, if Milner threw like 23 pitches, I would say you probably won't see him. 17 and 7, maybe. Chris Martin, 17 and 12, maybe. It's kind of a toss-up on whether or not the Rangers will use these guys right before the break. So that's what kept me off the Rangers. Otherwise, I would agree the Rangers at that price. But, yeah, over a pass for me. Toast.
It would only be Rangers first 5 plus 115 for me. Like you talked about, I don't want to deal with the bullpens, but Nathan Eovaldi has been spectacular. I mean, all year. I mean, he's pitched 83 innings and he has a 1.62 ERA. And I know that ERA isn't like an end-all be-all. I mean, but you open up his game logs. I mean, he has essentially 1 bad start against Seattle, and that is it. Everything else is 1 run or less, and there's, I think, 5 or 6 zeros on that board. And he's going into the 6th inning in most of those starts, at least the 5th. So it's not like you have to worry about him only going 3 or 4 innings either. So, and he's facing a Astros lineup that he's already faced once this year. He went 5 2/3 and blanked them. And let me just double check to see, because I'm pretty sure all those guys were in there. Yeah, Pena was in there, Altuve, Paredes, Walker, Carantini. Yeah, Dubon, Smith. Yeah, so Chas McCormick, all these guys. So, I mean, now he's facing a watered-down lineup. I just feel like, not to mention the fact that you talked about the Rangers bats. Yes, they lost today. I still think they scored, I think, 4 runs or 5, whatever it was. But regardless, previous to that, 7, 11, 8, 13, 5, 1, 7, 2, 6, 10. So that's their last 11 games. This team is hitting. So I get Hunter Brown is very, very good. But I do think that Nathan Eovaldi matches that, and Texas has a much, much better lineup. So Houston has an advantage later on in the game with the bullpens, but you're getting essentially the same price at plus 115.
Well, I don't know about that because, yeah, I just talked about the Rangers bullpen, but it's not all sunshines and rainbows on the Astros side either. Hader threw 27 pitches, including blowing the save.
I know, but
Abreu threw 20.
That Texas bullpen sucks.
All right.
How many pitches does Abreu have?
20.
And King?
15. Sosa, 22.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They used every single major arm. Not so fast, to quote Lee Corso. Almost September.
Regardless, that Rangers bullpen is too compromised for me to deal with.
Nats plus 192. Brewers minus 235. Man, I saw the Nats were winning late. I had a text typed out to Trevor. I was like, Trevor messaged me. He must have been blasted like 3 a.m. to talk shit about the Brewers. You know what? I'm gonna pull up this DM. This is like
you should have pulled up the video. No, I can't. Did you see the video that he sent to the Discord?
Oh my god, I'll go find it.
No, you gotta go back and find that.
What are we doing in Wisconsin, guys? Come on now. This is wild. This is fun for you guys. Oh man.
How about that Brewers, man? Hottest team in baseball with a bunch of emojis. 2:36 a.m. DM'd me that. Like, what the like, not in the group chat with everybody. Like, he sent me a DM. All right.
Promise, if I ever text you at 2:30, it's only to get CLV.
Yeah. Hey, how about those Brewers, man? Dude, can I help you? It's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
I think I'm gonna text you this morning. How about them Padres?
Are you all right? Like, do you need me to call you an Uber or something? All right, Nationals Brewers. Actually, a Spoon. You were talking about this one in the. Oh, speaking of the voice chat, let's get caught up real quick. So as far as White Sox Guardians, Jacob's on the Guardians. Spoon is on Cleveland, as he said. Boba's on Cleveland first 5 run line. OT's on Cantillo over 5.5 strikeouts in the Rangers Astros game. Adams on Texas first 5. Okay, Texas first time T total over. Jacobs on Texas first 5 plus the half run. Money Mark is on Texas first 5 plus the half run. So Texas first 5 is popular with you, Toast. Oh no, this is where we are now. So go ahead, Spoon. Does fastball Freddie pitch well here?
I have a hard time finding a way that he doesn't pitch well here. I think this is a spot where he goes out there and gets a win for the Brewers, a team that's one down in the division with one game before the All-Star break. Jake Irvin's on the other side of the mound, so even if Freddie Peralta gives up 1 or 2 home runs to a couple of these really good lefties, I still think it's probably just solo shots. He's not a guy that's walking a bunch of people, leaving runners on base. Jake Irvin's going to get touched. You have the Brewers. This is a lineup. Trevor would love to tell you they're top 10 in every stat, but the last 30 days, they're 4th in WRC plus overall. And I think this is a spot where they really get to Jake Irvin. I have no trust for Jake Irvin, a 5.03 xFIP versus lefties. That's a lot of these better bats for the Brewers here. It's too expensive of a price for me to bet it, but it really plays into that Cubs bet for me. You look at this, and Craig Counsell, former Brewers manager, now the Cubs manager, he's definitely looking at the Brewers tomorrow. He sees Freddie Peralta going out there. He knows Freddie's going to pitch well and get that win, and I think that's why the Cubs dump everything they can for the win tomorrow. Brewers money line is way too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to disagree with anything you said, and I guess I gotta, not that I've been betting him or anything. In fact, it's probably I only backed him a couple times this entire season. I like Jake Irvin. I think he's a good pitcher, but I mean, I think we have enough data where like I might be wrong on that one. It hasn't been all that bad. I just pulled it up on the screen, but I'll pull it back. It was only
he's just one of those guys that he's good for 5 or 6 innings of 3-run baseballs, but usually what you get. I mean, sometimes it's a lot worse, sometimes it's better, but it's usually about 6 innings of 3-run baseball.
Dude, to correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't down the stretch in July, August last year, Jake Irvin a solid pitcher for the Nats?
Yeah, he's had many stretches. I mean,
so what happened? What is
this? At times, dude. And I don't know. He's one of those guys where like I feel like I don't know if it's just because we're doing this every single day, and it's like we are as far as we know their starts and stuff. But it's like I get so frustrated that he's not better than what he is. Like it's so frustrating. So because every time that you think that he's going to pitch well, he like doesn't, and then every once in a while, it's like the Mets come to town and he blanks it. You know what I mean? It's just same thing with Freddie Peralta. I mean, his career against the Nationals, not that it matters because they flip around the lineup so much, or the lineup changes and stuff so much, but he's never had a good start against the Nationals in his career. So it's just, I don't know.
What would you do in this one, Toast?
It would be over or pass, but I can't bet this game. The Brewers are still fighting, like Spoon said, for a division spot. So I have a hard time believing they take any days off. And they did see Jake Irvin last year, and they put 4 runs off of him in 5 2/3, and then 6 runs off of him in 4 innings the previous time before that. So twice last year in 9 innings he gave up 10 runs to this team. And like I said, Freddie Peralta has been really, really good. He's coming off two really big starts on the road at the Mets, at home versus the Dodgers. In my opinion, this is like the definition of a sleepy spot for him not to be ready and maybe get jumped on by this Nationals offense. I don't have enough balls to actually bet that, but I really don't like the spot for Freddie Peralta. It's especially after those 2 starts.
I mean,
Jake Irvin just looks out of shape. The guy's like 250 pounds pitching on the mound. That doesn't affect a lot of pitchers, but from where I saw him coming in as a rookie, like I don't know, maybe the money affects different people differently, but I would expect different conditioning from him. I think that's part of what's coming into play.
I like this comment here from Mage Mike. He says the Brewers have a 60% chance of winning, so plus the positive EVs on the Nat side. I like it. The fair price for a team that has a 60% chance of winning is -150. So If that projection is accurate, mega slam on the Nationals at plus 192. Yeah, I don't know. I guess overpass. I said overpass, I think, in every game this series. Let's move on. All right. Man, why are we keep moving down on the screen? Pirates, Twin. Oh, I know Toast has a bet in this one.
How'd you know?
Because I saw your I got your text message alert.
Oh yeah. Pirates first 5 on the money line. I think plus 105, I think is what I got it at. But I've been kind of preaching this for a while. Just going to continue to find ways to back Mitch Keller. I know that he's not really a household name, and I know if you look at his win-loss, it's 3-10, but he's pitching really, really good, especially going back to the beginning of last month. So Miami, the Cubs, the Rangers, the Mets, St. Louis, and the Royals, and even before that, but he's been pitching really, really good. He also pitched against this Minnesota team last year, went 6 innings, only gave up 7 hits on no runs, and like I said, 6 innings. And I just don't personally believe that SWR is as good as what he has shown. And I think there's a reason that this game is priced this way. I know that Pittsburgh isn't anything special, but at the same time, I mean, you have Horowitz, Reynolds, Cruz, all lefties that could get to him. McCutchen's a veteran bat. Like, I could see them scoring a couple runs off of SWR. And I truly think that Mitch Keller pitches really well against Minnesota here tomorrow. So I think there's a reason that we're only getting plus 105, even though there is obviously a starting pitching advantage with Pittsburgh. So, yeah, I bet the Pirates in the first 5.
I can't say I hate it. Keller's been great, but, dude, Woods Richardson, man. Spoon, can we trust Woods Rich?
I'm on the Minnesota side of this game. So this is a spot where you're asking if we can trust him. We look at his last 15 innings pitched in his last 3 games. He's given up a combined 6 hits and 1 earned run in that 15 innings. I don't think that the Pirates bats are better than Chicago, Miami, or Seattle's bats. I think the numbers would support that. If you went over to that on the spreadsheet, showed it on the screen, you would see all red, all bottom 5 of every single statistical category you could have. Versus right-handed pitchers.
Can I stick up for the Pirates one thing? Look at those guys that they faced. Joe Ryan, Seth Lugo, George Kirby, Castillo, Brian Wu, Sonny Gray, Palante. I mean, you gotta give these guys
yeah, I'd like to add Simeon Woods Richardson to
I
that
can't
list.
make up the names. I can't make up his name. I'm just saying, like, those are the guys they faced. Those are pretty decent names.
That series in Seattle was crazy with the weather because Seattle didn't score any runs either. But anyway, Go ahead, Spoon.
I think this is a spot where Simeon Woods Richardson can continue to pitch well. I look at these Twins bats, Buxton, Castro, Larnach, Correa. This is a much tougher top half of the lineup than what the Pirates have to offer. And then you look at the bottom, you got Royce Lewis now hitting in the 7, Cody Clemens coming out of the 8. I think this is a much tougher game for Mitch Keller to pitch all the way through. This is a guy that has dealt. It's not a pure fate of him by any means. He keeps his team in a position to win every ball game, but unfortunately he plays NL baseball in 2025 and can't go out there and swing his own bat to try to get some runs. And the Pirates don't give him any runs. I don't see why Minnesota can't win this game. I look at this and it's telling me that this would be a pick'em if we put this over in Pittsburgh. And I don't necessarily know that I agree with that. And I think this is a spot where I'd be on Minnesota. Seeing Toast on the other side is probably going to keep me off actually betting it. Simeon Woods Richardson has looked really good in those last 3 starts, but this is a guy that did get sent down to the minors earlier this season, gave up 12 earned runs combined to Texas and Baltimore in 2 starts. And that Texas start was his first start back in the majors, but he clearly does not want to go back to the minors. He likes eating room service, getting to do all the things you can do in the major leagues and not in the minors. It's such a different game. And this is a guy right before the All-Star break that really wants to keep his job.
Room service. So I'm surprised that none of you guys mentioned the total all the way up at 9. Market thinks there's going to be runs scored in this game. And
I disagree.
Yeah, well, 9 is pretty significant. This isn't Coors. It's in Minnesota. Total sitting at 9. Mitch Keller against Woods Richardson, who's been lights out. Why?
12-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to left. Temperatures in the high 80s, 86 topping out for the game. That could be a factor for that. This is a big ballpark. I just trying to look for reasons to explain that for you.
This is I don't really have. I kind of want to bet the Pirates here. All right, so we Spoon talked about this, and you guys don't need me to bring these up. You know the Pirates lineup doesn't score runs. It's not groundbreaking analysis there. One of the worst lineups in baseball the last 2 weeks, last 30 days against right-handed pitching. One of the worst lineups in baseball the last 2 weeks, last 30 days. One of the worst, actually the worst road lineup in baseball. You don't need me to tell you that. Let's take a look at the Twins numbers. Not great. One of the worst lineups in baseball in the last 2 weeks. One of the worst lineups in baseball in righties in the last 2 weeks. Borderline bottom 5 lineup against righties in the last 30 days. Not saying the Twins lineup is not better than the Pirates lineup. Of course it is. But I think Mitch Keller's considerably better than Woods Richardson. And I think this is going to be the game where Woods Richardson turns back into a pumpkin. Honestly, with a total all the way up at 9, I think Pittsburgh is going to be shooting the gaps. I kind of like the Pirates, or just the most disgusting bet ever. Pirates team total over. I know, it's gross. I didn't bet it, but I kind of like the Pirates here. I'm gonna go Pirates or pass.
Dude, you can't even get a Pirates team total at 3.5.
That's what I'm saying.
Every single book is 4.5. It's plus money. It's plus 110, but still, that's saying a lot.
Bro,
considering
what is going on? All right, next.
I think they're gonna get to his ass too. They've seen some really good righty starters. Again, they suck, but
hold on, I lost our graphics there. I can fix it. Just need 2 seconds. I need about 60 seconds to fix the graphics. So 1 second. I could do actually, I have to fix the graphics, so I can't do the voice chat.
No, you're good. Your Metsies are on the board next. Okay. You can pull that up.
Wait, what? Why is this? Never mind. I don't need to. I can fix it right now. It's just 10 and 11. Okay. For some reason, games 10 and 11 didn't transfer. 1 second. So, how's everyone doing? Quick 30-second intermission while this loads.
I'm still thinking about Adam and Eve playing baseball. Is that where it originated? Doubleday just stole it out of the Bible and just deleted those pages? We didn't get to see it?
I don't know, man. I was going to say Zeus and something else, but I couldn't think of another mythical creature that went with like the goddess or whatever they are. I'm not good with that stuff, so maybe I shouldn't have started with that.
Yeah, that was a bad one, Adam and Eve. Usually, like you say, yeah, like Superman against Batman or something. Adam and Eve, it took me a second. I was like, what did you mean by that? Because they wouldn't be good pitchers. You know, the whole idea is they would be like a good pitcher.
Dude, they're friends
the
with God.
original
They could do
slider
whatever the hell they wanted, right?
The original slider. 1 second. Oh, man, this is taking a little longer. All right, it's going now.
You're trying to tell me Jesus couldn't hit a curveball?
Trying to tell me Jesus Christ couldn't hit a curveball? Oh, Jesus. He's very nice, but he don't help.
Get in trouble with the curve?
He don't help with the curveball. All right.
Straight ball. That's like very much.
Straight ball, I hit it very much. Curveball, bats are afraid.
I wouldn't leave that rum sitting around with this group.
Why?
I got a Big League Chew t-shirt for my son. This shirt's awesome.
My kid has one of those. They a Padres version of it.
Why is it not coming up? 1 second. Annoying. Oh, there we go. I don't know why that happened. That's never happened.
Bum, bum, bum.
And then it's gone again? It just disappeared?
Whoop.
I don't know what is going on with that. Dude, it's glitching out bad. I've never had this happen before.
Adobe wants to get to the All-Star break too.
On loop. There we go. We're back. I don't know what that was, but we are back. So anyway, Mets Royals. Shout out those of you that stuck around through that.
You're the true champions.
All right, Mets Royals. The graphic says Sean Manaea, but it's actually going to be Holmes first and then Sean Manaea, I believe, is what we're going to see. I don't really think. Is there anything out, Toast, on what we're going to see from Sean Manaea? Are we going to see like an inning?
I was under the understanding it was like 2 innings, and they were he was gonna come in after Holmes. That was my understanding. So, I bet the Mets just because of that. I thought that they were going to use 2 starters, and then they had guys in the bullpen behind it, and Kansas City can't score runs. And Noah Cameron has kind of turned into a shell of himself. I know that he has been somewhat decent, but the Pirates, the Mariners, it's really not impressive. And not to mention the fact that the Mets haven't really been fantastic versus left-handed pitching lately. But if you take a look at who they faced, Max Fried, Rodon, Quintana, Hall, Falter, that's not great, but Luzardo, Sale, Mackenzie Gore, Clayton Kershaw. So I think this Mets lineup needs another win going into this All-Star break, and they have the pitching to do so today. So I trust that these guys on the mound. I don't know what to expect from Manaea as far as length is concerned, but I don't think that the Royals can hit regardless, so I don't think it really matters that much.
Yeah, I bet the Mets also at minus 135. I'm going to come out and say I don't really love this one. I don't know if I necessarily think this is a great bet. I think the Mets win the game, so I placed it. I was really struggling to find things, so but you guys, I've been saying it for his last few starts that I think Noah Cameron's kind of trending downwards. Sure, he has a high upside in terms of a career, but they seem to have figured him out. He hasn't been quite the same. He was so dominant for like a month and a half there, and he hasn't been quite the same. So to get Clay Holmes and Manaea, and the Mets have some bullpen arms available as well. Keep in mind, Manaea was an all-star last year. Granted, who knows what we're going to expect from him, but he was he was one of the best pitchers in the NL last year. So Clay Holmes and Manaea, plus the Mets have Diaz, Stanek, Brazoban. They have all their bullpen arms too. So they have everything in the tank to go get a win here. So yeah, I'm on the Mets too. Spoon?
Manaea's worked up to 73 pitches in his last rehab outing. I think this is a spot where he probably comes in and eats the bulk of the rest of the innings that Clay Holmes tosses to him. So I see this is probably 4 to 5 innings from Clay Holmes, then 3 innings from Manaea, and then the closer comes in to take it over. I sign off on that Mets money line here. Noah Cameron is a pitcher I've really liked to back this year. I think he's got really good stuff in certain situations, but if we look at the bats that have gotten to him, it's the Dodgers and the Yankees, and I put the Mets right there in that class with him. I think there's a spot where they get enough runs off him. The big thing here for me is just the opposite side of this with Kansas City bats. I don't see how they score enough runs, even if Clay Holmes gives up 2, Manaea gives up 1. Even if they give up 4 runs, I don't see the Royals scoring enough runs. It just doesn't add up for me. So this is a spot where the Mets bats are going to get there. I don't know if I'm going to get there to the window with this. Right before the All-Star break on the road, this is a spot Kansas City would really like to get a win, but just because you want to get a win doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Well, I would also argue that the Mets really need one too, because with the Philadelphia loss tonight, now they're only a half game up in their division. So, and Philadelphia has Pivetta tomorrow. This is a game that the Mets, you would like to see that them probably use everybody tomorrow to get this win to be a full game up in the division going to the break.
Hopefully 1.5 if the Phillies lose.
1.5. Excuse me.
So in the Nationals Brewers game, they both had Peralta to record a win. Boba and Jacob in the Pirates Twins. Adam had the under. Charles had the under. Jacob had Twins or first 5 under. In this one, Mets are under. Adam's on the Mets. TJ's on the Mets. Boba's on first 5 under. Yep.
And if there's any worry about the Clay Holmes haters, he struggles versus lefties. There's like 2 in the lineup you have to worry about, and Pasquantino and Caglione. Besides that, if Kyle Isabel gets you, so be it, I guess.
Hold on.
I'm just saying. No offense.
No, that's very fair. I agree with that.
Dude, Kyle Isbell's kind of good.
I'm just saying, like, if he's the guy that beats us tomorrow, they can have.
So I think
100.
Fermin was a scratch from the lineup too. That's an important bat to them at this point in the season.
All right, there we go. All right. So we want to. Oh, well, we didn't even have to do. There's no line open for this one, right? Yes.
No line, but both bullpens are kind of compromised. So if there's like a 8.5 out there with Sonny Gray on the mound, that might not go very long in this game. I would play an over 8.5. I don't know what this number is. I'm completely speculating, but I do want to play an over tomorrow in this game if it's a decent price.
Why don't you think Sonny Gray will go long?
Because it's hot. It's before the All-Star break. I mean, he's got a dead arm. I'm just really, yeah.
He's got a dead arm?
Yo, dude, Sonny Gray sucks, dude. I'm telling you guys.
He's been throwing those apples too much.
Yo, I'm telling you.
Next up, Blue Jays, A's. What's the score of this game?
Blue Jays, not enough. Losers.
Wow, they had a runner on third with one out. They didn't tie it?
No.
Dude, shout out to, we were talking to the Discord. We almost bet the A's before that game started. I forget who that was. I didn't bet it, but I know someone was talking about it. Whoever that was, nice hit. Blue Jays, A's, minus 144, plus 120. Toast, you think Berrios pitches well here?
I have no idea what to expect from Jose Berrios tomorrow. He's been he's been really good, but like, I don't really know what to expect. I mean, the Yankees got to him and the Phillies got to him. But besides that, I mean, St. Louis, Philadelphia again, the White Sox, Boston, the White Sox again. So, I mean, yeah, he's looked good, but he's also looked good against some bad teams. And I just don't know what to do with Oakland or Sacramento or whatever. I mean, they're just so hit or miss at times. I mean, they used their molten arms tonight in a win. And to be honest, actually, Jeffrey Springs has been pretty good. And Toronto has been a team that's we know have been killing right-handed pitching, but really not the same versus left-handed pitching. So there's no chance in hell I lay minus 140 with Berrios on the road in this spot, even though he's been that good. But I think that Springs has been pitching, I wouldn't say as good as him, but I mean, pretty damn close. So to get the A's at home at plus 120, that'd be the only way I go. I don't think I can actually bet it, but that would be the only way I go.
A's bullpen might be a little bit compromised. The sports side Jacob just said in the chat, Mason Miller's gone 2 of the last 3. He threw 18 pitches. I mean, they didn't use huge pitch counts, though. 12 pitches for Newcomb. Yeah. So
it's just too many questions. That's why I was like, I don't know if I can actually do it.
So I kind of think minus 144 might be affordable on the Toronto side. What do you think, Spoon?
I don't know that I trust Jose Berrios to pitch well in this park. If we look at him in some sort of offensive settings like Toronto with the roof open versus New York, he gave up 6 earned runs on 9 hits. Again, in the Philadelphia park, you generally have pretty nice weather, wind blowing out. 6 earned runs on 9 hits. This park is an adjustment for any major league pitcher to walk into. This is a AAA PCL park where a lot of runs are scored. And if you look at the beginning of the season for Jeffrey Springs, he sort of struggled in this park a bit. But if we look at his last 4 starts, he's got a 2.77 ERA and 0.92 whip in this park. So I feel like he's kind of figured something out that I don't think Jose Berrios has the ability to do. You watch people pitch in this park, that doesn't help you until you get in there and actually do it yourself. I have a lean to the Athletics. Obviously, the bullpen doesn't help me out here, but I looked at the Blue Jays numbers earlier in the season and kind of thought versus lefties, their numbers were a bit fugazi. They got up 8 runs and 9 hits off Jesus Luzardo in a game where he was tipping his pitches, and they got all over him. They got 5 runs off Libator. But then they saw some decent lefties, Suarez, Sanchez. If you want to add Eduardo Rodriguez in the conversation of decent lefties, didn't get more than 2 runs off any of them. They all pitched pretty well. Recently, though, they scored 3 off Anderson, 4 off Fried, and I think they may be able to touch Springs. This is a park where Toronto bats are going to be able to hit. There's a lot of variance in this game, especially with A's bullpen. I'm probably not going to pull the trigger on them. I can't get to an over here. I think I saw 10.5 juice coming down to the under 10. That's telling me these pitchers are probably going to pitch well. I could only be on the Athletics.
I completely disagree with you guys. I can get a Toronto money line at minus 136 right now. Barrios had a couple blow-ups, but other than that, he's really. This is like the best I've ever seen Barrios pitch.
Yeah, because he's pitching against the White Sox.
It's the A's, and they had the A's
in at home when they're scoring. Okay,
I'm betting it.
I'm not betting against it. I didn't bet the A's, so
I'm betting the Blue Jays minus 136.
I wanted to argue with you. I really did because I knew I was going to be able to for a couple of days. I just didn't have enough bullets.
Yeah, you had no bullets.
I had a couple bullets.
You had a completely empty chamber there. Trying to argue that the A's bats should be something to be feared.
No.
I'm in minus 136.
Don't.
I'll be on Blue Jays Island, me and the chat against you two. Against the fake sharps.
First of all, I didn't bet it. Second of all,
I don't think Spoon bet it either, to be fair.
You're kind of making me want to the way you're talking.
I was going to say, I kind of want to as well. Not to mention, Jeffrey Springs got throttled by Toronto the first time they saw him this year. Jose Barrios threw a perfect game damn near. I'm exaggerating, but anyway.
Signs of things to come.
136 should be free. You're right.
Minus 136 I just got. And we have the bullpen advantage. What are we doing here? It's going to close at minus 155. Dodgers, Giants. Oh, man. The Yamamoto talk.
How was that?
Let's just say people are thinking Yamamoto's a blind fade. And on that, I'll pass you the mic, Toast.
Dodgers money line minus 135. Please continue to hate on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I beg you all. I hope that works out well for you guys. But not only do you have him coming off his worst start of his career, the last time the Giants faced him, they absolutely tattooed him, which was at home. But he's been a much, much better pitcher on the road. I mean, even with that blow up in Milwaukee where he pitched 2/3 of an inning, I mean, he still has a 2.12 ERA, a .914 whip, or a .94 whip on the road. Struggles with righty bats, if you call that anything. So Ramos, Chapman, Willie Adames, who cares? But I not to mention the fact that the Dodgers are going to have all their major arms available in the bullpen. I just think this is a really good spot to play on the Dodgers personally. So I know that me, I do love Robbie Ray, but I do trust this Dodgers offense versus him. I know that he looked good against Arizona, the White Sox, Boston, Philadelphia. I mean, again, against Philadelphia, but I do think that this Dodgers offense is going to continue to trend in the right direction. I think that the Dodgers win tomorrow. I like it. I kind of like it a lot.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think I'm going to bet this with you guys. It was fun when he pitched against the Brewers, and I was like, guys, Yamamoto might get hit up here. And then we all laughed at Toast, and the Brewers smashed him, and I got my over. It was nice. It was a lot of fun. TV Jones celebrated. But if you actually sit there and look, I mean, this is not that bad. He had got crushed by Milwaukee. He was crushing everybody. They're like the hottest lineup in baseball. I mean, how many bad starts are here? Are we calling this one bad? Pitched into the 7th inning, 3 runs, just 7 base runners. It's a solid start there. I mean, the Giants got to him, so maybe he gets his revenge. Maybe they get to him here. But on the road in St. Louis, that's a good start. I want to bet the Dodgers too. Spoon, what do you think?
I was looking at an under in this game. One thing I was kind of questioning with Yamamoto, he's an all-star selection. Obviously, his manager is going to be the one managing the all-star game, so he gets to decide if he comes in or not. But these Japanese pitchers over there, they don't use 5-man rotations. It's traditionally 6-man rotations, so that's why you always see him pitching on 6 days or 5 days full rest. I question that. I also look at last season. He's already almost at the amount of innings that he threw last year, this year. And I wonder if they might try to curb that. Looking back to his career in Japan, he did have a lot of innings. But if you look at that, those are seasons where he's starting 37 games and he's not getting to a 200 inning limit. So I think there might be some innings concerns with how deep he actually goes here. I think 5 might be a cutoff, a real one, because I think there is still the chance that his manager would like to throw him out there for an inning in that All-Star game. It's a lot of question marks, a lot of things that I can't answer. So it's probably going to keep me off this game. But like I said, I like the under. I think the innings that Yamamoto's in this game, he pitches well. I don't have a lot of concerns about that blow up versus the Brewers. Every pitcher has bad games. It happens. But this is a nice pitcher's park. I think Robbie Ray is also just in a groove and pitching really well. I think the Dodgers bats leave a lot to be desired right now. If you look at the last 14 days on the road, they're 25th in baseball. They're definitely not hot if you want to believe in hot streaks and cold streaks. And I don't see any reason Ray can't pitch well. So put me on the board for the under.
All right. I think I might bet the Dodgers there.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is Arizona Angels. Man, good thing I didn't bet this one. I really wanted to bet the Diamondbacks. Spoon was on the Angels, I remember. Final score was 10-5 here. This Angels lineup is freaking crazy. Defies logic. Ever since the managerial change here from Ron Washington, the Angels have just been crushing the ball. Do you think they continue crushing the ball here, Spoon, with Merrill Kelly?
So I didn't actually bet this game today. I got out of that. Didn't have to deal with it.
I did. So well, they came through for me. Thank God.
Jose Soriano is a guy I really like. He's one of my favorite pitchers in baseball. He's really good at inducing ground balls. This is a lineup though that can rake open a crooked inning every time they go out there. It's a little scary to try to face that, but then I try to think about it's right before the All-Star break and their two best players have been dealing with injuries now for weeks. This might be a spot where they both get an extra day. Don't expect them both to sit out, but I think there's a real chance that either Ketel Marte or Corbin Carroll does sit out. If you add that into it, I think the Angels bats can definitely touch Merrill Kelly. This is a guy that's pitched really well, but the Angels bats have been hitting really well. Sometimes regression comes for pitchers just like it does for hitters. And I don't see any reason that Merrill Kelly's going to finish the season where he's at right now, sitting with a 3.41 ERA. I think that number probably sits north of 4 by the time the season's over.
Really?
And Angels bats can get to him. I have a strong lean to the Angels here. The bullpen situation, everything that leads into this, I'm not sure if I can get there. Like I said, that crooked inning concern happens. Jose Soriano is a ground ball guy, and when the pitches don't go the way he wants, they go pretty far. Kind of peaked at the first 5 versus the full game. Sometimes they really know what's going to happen with Soriano before they go out there. And generally with the Diamondbacks, you see a better first 5 line than you do a full game line. And I didn't see enough of a difference there to really tell me that Soriano was going to pitch poorly. So I do have that lean to the Angels, but I'm probably not going to get there with this game.
What do you think, Toes?
Angels team total over 3.5 minus 140. Pay the juice. I love Merrill Kelly. I don't know if I agree that his ERA is going to be above 4 by the end of the year. He's kind of
bad number.
It's not a bad number, but that's
what the heck?
for him.
That's so disrespectful to Kelly.
I was going to say that was a little disrespectful to my boy Merrill Kelly. I mean, he's been pretty damn.
4 ERA for your career probably gets it.
Hold on. You don't.
He hasn't had a 4 ERA in probably
hold
like 4
on,
or 5
though.
years.
You said he's going to finish the year with an ERA above 4, and in order to finish the year with that, his ERA for the rest of the season would probably have to be north of 5.
Yeah, so he plays in Arizona. They're going to open this roof up. I don't think this is a guy that continues to pitch as well as we've seen. You can call me out in 2 weeks, or probably not 2 weeks. It's going to be a month at this point before we get to see it. And you'll be getting hit up and you'll be like, I'm not going to say that.
Spoon hates Merrill Kelly.
Clearly hates Merrill Kelly.
You can
literally
add
wrote it
Suarez
down in the
to the list.
notebook.
You can
I
add
can't be
Suarez to
deleted.
the list
Not like
and
a computer.
Mizorowski.
All seriousness, no. Angels team total over 3.5. I am going to end up betting this. Was kind of debating on it or not, whether or not. But you have Merrill Kelly, who I do think that he can continue to pitch well, but at the same time, he hasn't pitched like amazingly well lately. But at the same time, if you look at who he's pitched against, the Padres, the Giants, the Marlins, Colorado, the Padres again, Seattle, Atlanta, none of those offenses really scare you. And that bothers me considering the fact that he's coming off a fantastic start on the road in San Diego. Now he's got to go on the road again, which it doesn't really matter too much. It's 20 minutes down the road or an hour, whatever, if you're driving. But regardless, but this Angels team is red hot right now. And we know that this Arizona bullpen isn't anything special. So I know that he only had 77 pitches his last time out. But if Merrill Kelly's only going 5, maybe 6 innings total in this game, which I don't even know if that's even going to be the case, because like I said, this Angels offense has been so good. You're going to have multiple shots at that Arizona offense. So yeah, the Angels do play at home. So maybe not the 9th inning if they're winning, but I still don't think that they win this game unless they score 4 runs. So yeah, Angels team total over 3.5 for me.
I like Arizona again, and maybe it was a blessing that I didn't bet this one, and it's a sign that I should jump on this upcoming game. So I think the splits favor the Snakes here. So Jose Soriano struggles against lefties. The xFIP jumps from a 284 to a 406. The whip jumps a little bit. Woba jumps a little bit as well. Arizona's loaded with lefty bats. As bad as this Arizona lineup has been recently, it's still above average in the last 30 days, in the last 14 days. So it hasn't really been nearly as bad as we perceive. Jose Soriano just got crushed by the Rangers, who also have some lefties. Got crushed by the Nationals at home. Both these starts at home by 2 lineups that have lefties. You can see when he pitched against the Astros that they have righties, he pitched well. So I think the Snakes can hit Jose Soriano. And on the other side, Merrill Kelly, he's got dominant numbers against righties, and the Angels have some righties in that lineup. So how many righties in the lineup for the Angels here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, 7. Well, 6.
Yeah, because
I want to show them this though. So look at the Angels lineup here, all the way to the right. There's only 1 true lefty in it. Other than that, you have 2 switch hitters all the way at the bottom, but it's just all righty. So I think Merrill Kelly could pitch well. And then on top of that, when we're talking about the bullpens here for the Angels, no Detmers, no Furman. You're going to have Kenley Jensen available. He's only going to pitch if they have a lead. Brock Burke is available. You might see a couple rag arms as well. So I think this is the Snakes. I'm actually going to bet this. Goddamn.
Hold on. I do think that you should wait to see if Marte and Carroll play. Like, even if you lose a couple cents of value, I mean, because Spoon is right. They have been hurt. The Snakes are 11 games out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, but it seems like you guys saying that they might not play is complete speculation. Like, was there something out there that actually said they might not play, or are you guys just saying like?
So groin injuries don't just disappear. Marte's been dealing with it for a week right now. Carroll just had an extra rest day out of nowhere. It seems like they're trying to be conservative with this. We're also talking about a team that's on the road.
Hand. Carroll has a broken hand. It's a pain tolerance thing. It's not going to get better. It's broken. So
fine.
It's not like they have to appease the home fans or anything.
Don't let me stop you. I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't surprise me if one or both sat out tomorrow. I mean,
let's get caught up on the voice chat. And the voice chat picks are where we leave off. Mets Royals. So let's bring it over here. No picks in this one because there was no lines open. In the Toronto A's game, voice chat heavy on the under there. TJ's on the under, Adams on the under, and under walks. Jacobs on the under as well. In the Dodgers-Giants game, Adams on the Dodgers, TJ's on the Dodgers, Mark's on the Dodgers, Benji's on the Giants team total over, a blind fade of Yamamoto. OT's on the under in Giants money line. Jacobs on the under, first 5 under. In the game we just talked about, all 3 on the Angels. Man, no one likes the Snakes. I want to bet the Snakes.
What bullpen arms close the game out for the Snakes? Like, who are you having faith in there?
I mean, I don't really have a ton of faith in the arms we'll see from the Angels either. Guys named Connor Brogdon is probably going to pitch. Sam Bachman. Take Detmers and Furman out of that bullpen. It's pretty bad as well. Phillies, Padres in an awesome game. Should be Sunday Night Baseball, but there's no Sunday Night Baseball with the All-Star game on deck. So this game's just at the 4:10 start time. Toast. Final score of this game's 1-0.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I would like to hear what you guys have to think. I personally think everybody's going to call me a homer. I do think that there's value on the Padres personally. I know that Christopher Sanchez is an all-star snub and all that good stuff. But he did get paid his bonus for being an all-star. So he got it. The Phillies paid him his $50,000. So that's a positive. So he gets to be on vacation and still get paid. So regardless if he's an all-star or not, but this Padres offense is kind of been hit or miss. But I mean, if you look at the lefty starters they faced, I mean, Ranger Suarez, Eduardo Rodriguez. I mean, they got to him, but he's been pitching well. I mean, Corbin's been kind of hit or miss, but they just saw Christopher Sanchez, Lodolo, Andrew Abbott, Mackenzie Gore. They've been seeing some decent lefty starters. So I just don't really trust this Phillies bullpen, rested or not. I know that Romano and stuff went tonight, but regardless, I don't trust their bullpen. And like I always say with the Padres, the reason that we all took a loss with the Phillies today is because the Padres had a taxed bullpen. Estrada's not going to be available, but Suarez, Adam, and Maury Home will be available, and Brian Hoeing. So I don't worry about Pivetta at home with all the three main arms available behind him in the bullpen. So personally, it would only be the Padres for me. I haven't bet it yet, but it would only be the Padres for me.
Spoon?
You mentioned it earlier. The Phillies are half a game out of this playoff race right now for the division lead here. Christopher Sanchez on the mound, a guy that's been an all-star caliber pitcher all the year, leaving one of the most pitcher-friendly parks in baseball and heading to the next pitcher-friendly park in baseball. I think this is a spot that's going to be really refreshing for him to pitch. Another ground ball guy, Christopher Sanchez, is on my list of favorite pitchers. That sinker and the change, it's just a great, they play off each other. I don't think the Padres bats get that many runs off him. I see 2 being the top amount. The issue why I'm probably not going to get to the Phillies is they're just not hitting right-handers, and Nick Pivetta is pitching really well. 5 2/3, 0 earned runs. His last 3 games, he's given up 1 earned run, and that's the Washington, Philly, and Arizona potent offenses. So Philly just saw him on the opposite hand. San Diego also saw Christopher Sanchez. So there's a lot of variance in this game. I don't trust the Phillies bullpen, and their bats aren't getting to right-handed pitchers, and that's guys like Bergert, Verlander, Roop, Chase Burns, Pivetta already, obviously. Not guys besides Pivetta that I have a ton of faith in to pitch well on a consistent basis. So if they can't get runs off him, I don't think they get him off Pivetta either. So it's either under Phillies for me.
I mean, could you imagine what the Phillies numbers versus right-handed pitching would look like if they didn't have, 13 runs off of Bryce Elder and Matt Waldron?
Yeah, for real. Tonight was the game for the Phillies to win. The Padres punted this one. They had no bullpen arms available. There's
a bat missing for the Phillies too. He was not in the game today. I don't think he'll be in tomorrow either. I'm trying to figure out which bat it is real quick. I'm sorry.
Realmuto played. Who was out today? I think everyone played today, dude. Oh, Stott didn't play. No,
yes, he did.
No, he did play. Who the hell was missing then?
Nobody. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was missing. I watched.
Bohm, I think Bohm is going to be out tomorrow. Bohm got hurt in the game. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay.
He got hit with a pitch and then left. And then Marsh kind of took something when he slid into home, but he stayed in the game. But.
Spoon, what time's your show tomorrow?
We're starting up at 11 o'clock. We're going to go through the whole card again, probably add a few bets, and have a good last show before the All-Star break. I'm excited to get this week behind us and start a new, fresh half of the season. Thanks, Walk Off Wagers, Pub Sports Radio, tomorrow, 11 o'clock, me and my guy Wine Time.
11 a.m. He'll tweet it out, too, if he follows Twitter. It's on the screen. I'll be back tomorrow at midnight with TV Jones and maybe Toast to do freaking home run derby. I can't even believe it. Yeah.
Wait, we're doing that? All right.
Yeah, cool. TV Jones is like pumped for it.
Okay, I'm going to get ready. I'll get ready for it then. All right.
Yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow for a home run derby thing. My tag on the screen is going to be like, this is stupid. All right. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Betting